Welcome back, Monsterites. Presented today are the films I have missed or set aside when composing the original video compendium of every werewolf of every movie ever. Some I just didn't know about, while others, as you will see, got a werewolf VIP pass to get mentioned. Also, stay tuned to the end of the video for a brief update on where we're at as we approach 100,000 subscribers and start a new era of World of Monsters 2.0. Now, let's get to the details, shall we? Shaggy Dog, 1959. Materializing back to and past 1959, we find this colored version of Shaggy Dog, which seems clearly inspired by I Was a Teenage Werewolf of 1957, and not just theme but those fur highlights and black painted nose, but that's really just in mid-transformation. Carry On Screaming, 1966. I really didn't want to bring back the nothing special here comment, but for the most part that is what it is, although the makeup as a whole is clean and the addition of the altered hands and feet is certainly appreciated. But why's the foot got two big toes? Unusual choice here. Makes me wonder why they went with this look. The Mummy and the Curse of the Jackals, 1969. Well, from what we can catch in this one, nice work on the nose, or snout. Dracula, the Dirty Old Man, 1969. So I'm presenting this one after, as a Monsterite mentioned, that this film reused the mask of the previous film, The Mummy and the Curse of the Jackals. And interestingly enough, my original comment on this was that it kind of looked like an exaggerated version of the previous one. The maw is making its way out more. Capulina contra los Monstros, 1974. Furry overhaul. Good move in getting the ears to stand out of all that by enlarging them. This shot though, too much humanity in the eyes, and it seems Frankie's creations got the same issue. It's tricky filming something like this in a very lit area. Extra precautions must be taken. JAANI DUSHMAN, 1979. I like seeing that little bit where his hair turns to fur on his head. Proves it. Fur is better than hair. Overall, I like the look, how the very straight fur lays flatly around the face. Obviously, for 1979 though, not an advancement in any real way. Godzilla vs. Wolfman, 1983, an unreleased fan-made film. Normal size Wolfie looks pretty good. When kaiju'd, he's a steroid-infused puffball. Looks cool, but much more fantastical, which takes away from the werewolf horror aspect. But hey, if you want this to finally be released, create a change.org petition or something, whatever that'll do. Just admit it, we need a Godzilla vs. werewolf flick. Wilczyca, 1983. Well, here's your she-wolf, and here's your evidence. AKADEMIA PANA KLEKSA, 1984. Here's another Polish production to be brought to my attention. Dziękuję Polska. I believe this is it. Make of them what you will, unless there's something I missed. But anyway, if you see the movie, the helmet design may make more sense. The Neverending Story, 1984. With enough tears shed in the comments, I decided to share Gmork here, although he is just that, a Gmork, a talking, powerful wolf from all we can see. Not technically a werewolf, unless again there's more to this lore that I don't know. Still, it is a pleasure involving the Gmork here, as I'm a fan of the movie.
In her face.
That theme song. And well, look at just how strikingly he was blessed by the hands of his talented creators. Fright Night, 1985. This one I can wholly admit to missing. It just features an actual canine, but also what may just be the greatest reverse transformation in cinema history thus far. Devil horned kudos on that. Astounding. Werewolf, 1987. Now a lot has happened in cinema with werewolves by 1987, but look at this. This being a TV series excluded it from the entirety of this compendium, but considering that Werewolf is probably the best werewolf series out there, I decided to pay its rightful homage here. Plus, this is a 2-hour pilot episode, so I think that's another good argument to include it here. The werewolf itself?
Me like it, what me see.
Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, 1988. One thing must be said here, much better than the other Scoob movie werewolf. This is more of what Shaggy should have turned into. To Die For, 1988. Speaking frankly, I have not watched this movie, but it was brought to my attention that in this fight there is a werewolf and a vampire. I'd assume they're both vamps, but hey, maybe there's another fight I should be referring to. Not sure, but here's your screen time. To Die For. You're welcome. Sundown, The Vampire in Retreat, 1989. And another flick that was mentioned to me, full of vampires and some supposed werewolves somewhere. Again, not sure. It, 1990. I originally omitted the brief werewolf scene in It, as technically this is a mini-series, and as you know how things go, give one a pass and the comments section gets flooded with series such as Love, Death and Robots and mini-series. Even so, I decided to fit this one in here as the Wolfman work is certainly appreciated. It's probably due to the heavy practical effects, but I like how cold and inhuman his face appears. Powrót Wilczycy, 1990, or Return of the She-Wolf. Keep in mind this is 1990. By far, the best thing about her is the fur-covered arm. Adam Kaur, 1991. A Pakistani film with no IMDb page. Man in fursuit with minimal efforts placed on hands and face. Mom, 1991. We have this spectacle, which I quite like really, other than the overly stiff effects that take you out of the moments. Well, if you replay them several times at least. Campfire Tales, 1997. Almost missed him in this one and added the flick to the end of the list, but here he is. I guess that lets you know how I feel about him. Wolfhound, 2002. A human-to-dog shift type situation. That's all. The Matrix Unloaded, 2003. There's a tiny somewhat werewolf shoutout here that features this program from an older version of The Matrix that requires silver bullets to be destroyed. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, 2005. This one is weird. There's a lot going on this beastie. That back is just nuts. I'd say he looks like he belongs in the Warhammer universe. AUDIE and the Wolf, 2008. Amazingly, this movie features a twist on the whole werewolf idea. It's about a friendly wolf that, upon full moon, turns into a vicious human bloodthirsty man. Yep. The Sphere of the Lycanthrope, 2009. Wait, this is 2009, right? I would have never guessed. Bad Moon Rising, 2010. This short features a great little transformation moment with this excellent close-up. Seriously, the realism here is very good. Unfortunately, the fully transformed form, albeit looking great, is shown all too briefly. Nice work though. KUTSAL DUMACANA 2, 2010. The Wolfman here looks decent. Decent for a lower budget in the early 21st century. Nice try, Turkey. I do like that nose wrinklage. The Big Bad, 2011. This shot, awesome. Unfortunately, when revealed more, the messy Wolfman is not all that great. FDR American Badass, 2012. The variety here, good. But the refinement and theme, well, you be the judge. SYNEVIR, 2013. The unclear full-back portrait looks great really. The face/head, decent. At least it's a full beast mode. Note, he does have a long, sort of thin tail. Interesting. Tom Holland's Twisted Tales, 2014. Pretty cool little practical effects here, especially when we get to this one. Although he does look kind of funny. Voxewerk, 2014, also known as Growing Pains. Nice animated wolfie here, especially when fully transformed right at the end there. Check this short out, guys, it's worth a watch. The Wolf Who Came to Dinner, 2015. This shorty features a pretty great werewolf. It's not realistic, but the design, what can I say, it's full of character and is just fun. Great efforts went in on this one. Also, good acting. Yummy Meat, A Halloween Carol, 2015, and a third short in a row. Unlike the previous werewolf, here it looks a bit less like a furry or cosplay, but then again, it is taken more seriously here. I have to say, it seems short films are just the way to go these days if you're looking for better quality werewolves. The bigwigs just don't get the market at all, it seems. Big Bad, 2016. The Wolfman looks pretty good in this one. The face could probably be better, but nice paw. I Was a Teenage Werskunk, 2016. Well, you read it. Our first official Werskunk. Silly, sure, but I like how this is sort of a tribute, actually the second tribute on the list, to the Wolf Boy of 1957's I Was a Teenage Werewolf. Hey, I told you back then he looked skunky. MORBACH, Monster Terror, 2017. A fine-looking raw werewolf here. I would have done something a little different with this gum and teeth close-up. It all just looks like a single material, which it probably is, but I think adding more gloss to the gums would give him that wetter look, which would have helped in the realism in this situation. It's not bad though, and you know, nitpicking is what I do here. But come on, there are almost 400 of these movies. Night Howl, 2017. Okay. What the? I thought that was supposed to be a fake werewolf and the real one would come in later. due to those black eye screens you commonly see on masks. But no eyes? Really? They could have at least made some creepy fake ones. Goodness, I think this is the first time in the hundreds of movies that we've seen this neglected. Well, kudos on that, I think. Annabelle Comes Home, 2019. It shows for a few seconds, but the ghost werewolf here looks wicked great. I'd love to see the concept artwork behind this one. Love, Death, and Robots, 2019. Alright, take it easy, Monsterites. You should have known I didn't feature this one due to it being part of a series. Yes, having episodes and a season does make it a series, but as I have bent the rule already, and these episodes are standalones, I'm not going to talk about how I enjoyed the episode because I most certainly goddamn did, but rather why the wolves here get so many shoutouts by fans. Post Full Change, the designers managed to retain the wolf animal heads while not going too human or monstrous beast on the body. That, and a more obvious one in the episode, was a nice nod to the beloved Dog Soldiers film, and doing this in full CGI was an excellent way to go. 100% Wolf, 2020. A full-length family CGI movie. The werewolves here are wonderfully designed, each one clearly different and distinguishable from the other. Ghost Stories, 2020. To my surprise, I was quite impressed with the practical works on the monster in this Indian film. Great work, team. New Mutants, 2020. Full CGI, beastly, nothing bad to say really, but maybe also nothing to write home about. Zombies 2, 2020. Here you go, and here's about as monstrous as they get. And here's a movie that I left to the end as it mentioned it had werewolves, though I couldn't spawn any, or anything close to them. Kill That Bitch, 2014. And finally, I'm happy to leave this list on a good note, maybe a great note. We're wolves, like we are. Werewolves is a follow-up to the vampire mockumentary What We Do in the Shadows, focused around the lives of werewolves, instead living in modern-day New Zealand. Now this sounds like a lot of fun, and I look forward to the get-ups they create. The costume work on What We Do in the Shadows on the werewolves was unexpectedly good. Problem is, I don't know when this will come out, but we'll certainly keep our eyes on it. There you have it, some of the usual, a couple greats, and some honorable mentions. Nonetheless, let's hope big budget returns to Wolfies and we get some quality flicks in the future. Monsterites, we're almost there. My implementations and announcements for the channel post 100k subs are almost ready. As some of you may know, for the first time in 5 years, right at the cusp here, our channel was unjustly put at risk. But as someone out there might say, I feel that's the storm before the sunshine. The stronger we get hit now, the more enlightened and powerful will emerge as World of Monsters 2.0. YouTube is quite very imperfect when handling copyright cases, and for us creators makes it extremely unfair. As we cross to the channel revamp, I plan on releasing a much more steady stream of monsters. All sorts, not just werewolves as we've been so focused on for months. And also the launch of Patreon. I finally come to the realization of how incredibly useful and helpful utilizing this platform will be for not just securing our channel for whatever may come at us in the future, but for the overall stability of the channel and, well, my mental well-being and its symbiotic relationship with the channel. I am so excited about the future of World of Monsters, and I ask you, if you are too, then give me that one last great huzzah in the comments before we break that silver wall at YouTube.